Hi guys, I am Raluca Negrea. I'm one of the co-founders and head of operation at Build21, here with Petrica Butusina. He's chief product manager, and starting this year, he's also part of the founding team. The case we are presenting today is Build21. We are a real estate developer. What is different from the other real estate developers from the market is that we are using blockchain both as infrastructure but also as principles, because we think that blockchain principles fits the way we see that real estate should be built in Romania but everywhere in the world. So what we are doing as a real estate developer, we build only 21 real estate projects. The first one are apartments. All the projects are residential in Romania, in big city, in the middle of the city, if it's possible, if not closer to the center of the city. And on our business model, it's built to sell. What we are building, in the end, we sell to people that want to live in our homes. So this is mainly the business model. The dream that we have is to build beautiful and smart homes for that people that are classified as mid-app class in Romania should be able to buy it. So good quality, smart homes, nice design, but affordable for what we consider middle class here in Romania. And also another dream that it's related to how we construct, it's that the lifespan of what we build should be at least for 1 century. This means being durable and good enough to resist in 100 years, but also has a relevant design for the years that are coming. I don't know if you know, but if you live in Europe, the house where you are lived has been designed to be good for 15 years. If nobody else evaluates that building that it's and prolonge his lifespan, this is it. If you go to the bank, they will say you need an evaluation. So this is another thing that we are promising to the people that moves day one in the apartments and the homes that we build, is that they will feel that what we have built will have an immediate impact in their quality life, because they will have enough natural light, the air, the fresh air would be continuously something that will they will have in their homes, the comfort of the temperature, the acoustic in the house. Then again, I've mentioned durability and healthy of the structure of the building where they are moving. And another thing that is important from us, the interaction that they have with the neighbors, because as a real estate developer, we keep in every project that we do a space that we manage and where we encourage community development. So this is us as business. And the main question is why we choose blockchain. One of the main reasons is because we are community first. So we didn't start this business thinking, let's do something on the blockchain. We start this business thinking, let's build for the people that will build in the homes that we build. Who are the best to be involved in this? The experts, the engineers and the architecture that are thinking of how these houses should be built. And this is one of the main community that we have focused on and that we already have onboarded. Architects and structural engineers that are signing on our projects that has the quality that I mentioned previous and that are designed to be relevant and durable for the 100 years that I mentioned. Then we also thought about, I've told you, the people that will gonna be there. There should be for real a community or just people that afford the price to live in our homes. They should be a community. This is why we decided we have to keep these spaces and do stuff that are relevant, that once you go and buy something that is built by Build21, from the way it has been built and what's happening in the common spaces that we are managing there, you will know if it's for your lifestyle and if it's proper for your family or not. And the third community that we think it's important is the community of investors. And we thought about who should be able to invest with us, the developers, to put money together with us, the developers. So something like this should exist, and also should have priority when we are distributing the profit. So
So the question is, what's the link between actual bricks, physical bricks, and the blockchain, and why do we actually need the blockchain? So back again to the community. We are building a bunch of communities. Of course, we have the experts and the investors communities that are the basic layer of the project. But then we also have a long series of residents community, one community for each building we are going to develop in the future. Thinking about this, it's important to mention that in real estate, when you create a building, you actually create an SPV company for that specific building. So under the Build21 company, there are going to be 21 SPV companies that are going to develop each project, and each project is going to have its own residence community. Based on this, you can notice that everything will need to be super modular. So that's why we built everything on a factory smart contract architecture, meaning that we are going to be able to easily deploy any community-based tool for each of the projects in the same way. This is also important if you think about the future-proof scenario of the company. We know that we are going to build 21 projects, but we also know that in the future, when we will become an example of how blockchain can actually solve certain aspects of the Web2 industry, then it will also come with a requirement for us to share the technology. So if we right now develop for ourselves a modular system, then we'll, at no point in time, we'll be able to switch to a software as a service with all the architecture we are building right now.
And the idea is also, if you are a member of any of this community, you can propose stuff, then you can get involved by voting, and again, you will be accountable. Maybe if you are the expert, if you are signing that the quality of the project is having mentioned and stuff, because this is based on the
similar to the communities, we are also going to talk about the tokenization. So in the same way we deal with the community building tool that has at the basis factory smart contract architecture, it's the fractionalization of the investment. So what we are doing is we are also having a factory architecture behind it, so we can generate for a specific project the whole infrastructure for the tokenization. And then why is this important for us to use this tool? Because if you go the Web2 route, you can have large investors at the table. Right now, small investors are not allowed to participate in Web2 real estate opportunities just because their investment barrier is super low. So what we are doing is breaking a joint venture contract, which is actually existing in the real world, and we are binding tokens to that specific contract. Nowadays, everybody, when they think about real estate on blockchain, they think, how are these guys going to solve the ownership of the apartments? It's not really established right now, and it's not really possible legally to own something on the blockchain, especially in some jurisdiction. It is done in some areas, but not in Romania, especially in Europe. But what we are actually tokenizing is the joint venture contract between the real estate developers, which is us, and the investors that want to participate in taking profit after we actually develop the building. So it's like a promise of over the profit of the sale of the real estate. And we are doing this with the same approach.
Yes, business model has Petrica mentioned. Each project has its own SPV, which is CRL, but it's a unique purpose. Once you sign the contract with that SPV, you have clarity that the project has the authorization to be built. You know what will be built, you know the concept, you know how it's going to look like, and you also have a perspective of how much you get in return for the money that you put. The minimum return that we promise is 40% per project. A project can be built depending on how big it is in 1.5 years. We're going to start with small projects, the first ones, but there are going to be also projects that will be built in 3 or 4 years because we're going to be much bigger. So this is what it's already done, and we can do it, fractionalizing the investment, something that we want to work on, and we have put a lot of energy in terms of the legal framework of how to do it, how to exit the investment before returning of the profit, because this is also something that will be possible in the European countries, but we'll need to develop some technical parts for this, and if you're curious, happy to share how we're going to do it.
Another part of the project that makes us different from the Web2 competitors is actually the smart home system we are going to sell to the future owners of the apartments. And actually, we want to solve certain problems that we have noticed along the years in the market. One of them is the full history of your apartment. Sometimes in the past, I had some issues with my family, some member of the family passed away, and at one point I need to get one of the properties of that member because it was inherited by me. And at that point, I didn't know where to take all the documents, all the history of the property, and so on. And I think this is a solution we are going to solve. Actually, we have solved it at the Ethereum Bucharest Hackathon with our application, which is leveraging a super cool IPFS-like architecture based on the ratio and edge node protocol. And we are mixing this with the blockchain in terms of the linking of the storage you have in the edge cloud. Because right now you also care a lot about your privacy. You don't want to have your data about your property stored in a cloud. You don't have control over it. And what we did is using the ratio on IPFS is basically coming with a super smart idea that you can encrypt your stored information and decrypt it just with digital assets. So when we actually sell an apartment, we handle a green card of the apartment. And we actually allow the people to have full history of the building, from sale contract to the property details and other modifications you actually are going to build in time.
The types of materials that we have put in the project, when we have developed, the certification that we get when we were building,
exactly.
The certification that we get for the building, and how it evolves years after year, and so on.
And think about it like a storage that grows in time with your property. At one point, maybe you think about demolishing a wall. You need all the papers. You are going to store all this information in this storage of your apartment linked to a certain NFT. Afterwards, at one point in time, maybe you decide you want to sell the property for a better investment or any other reason. You are going to handle this green card of the apartment to the new owner, and he will actually get the whole history of your property. Another smart way where we are actually using the storage in this IPFS-like architecture is that we are going to also store data. Our buildings are also going to be full of IoT devices. And they are always producing data and being stored in a secure way in an IPFS-like architecture. We are going to produce provable data. And we are also going not just to store them on this IPFS, we are also going to record these events on the blockchain. This is important because at one point in time, I know that we are going to reach a certain moment in time when insurance companies will ask real data. Because if you have maybe a building that was built in a good way and you want to actually prove all this data, you can use your IoT from your house, like earthquake sensors put on your structure, to temperature, to light, to heating, and so on. You can prove this data and get maybe a better premium because you can actually prove the information you are delivering. Or maybe, I don't know, you live in a country that has a lot of earthquakes, but your building wasn't affected in the past. And you can just prove, okay, this is all the history of my structure. You cannot charge me a higher premium just because an earthquake happened in that area. I can prove it didn't affect my structure.
So, if you want to buy an apartment, next announcement of what we are building is this autumn. Join us. This is our Romanian Telegram, but if you are looking for Build21, we'll also have an English version of the Telegram. If you want to invest, again, this autumn you will be able to invest starting €300. There will also going to be an upper limitation, but we will announce it because it's related to the dimension of the project. We have the locations for the projects. Usually this is what we are putting as a company. We put the land, we put also some money to the development, because we know the idea is fresh and it's pretty stressful for people to start investing with us. But actually the one that right now are in our investors communities are the kind of people that would like to have their name on the building, because their thought is like this: I hope somebody 150 years will gonna walk near this building and will ask, oh my God, who have thought to do something like that? So join us on Telegram, on any other channel if you want. Thank you.
Guys, thank you very, very much. Awesome. We've actually already got our first question here from InfraMaster. Based on the history of real estate in Romania, how can you/we prove that the materials used in construction and stored on the blockchain are what's actually being used in the real world?
So one thing that we do, it's also that if you buy in pre-sales an apartment from us, you will have real-time monitorization of the construction site. So you will see what's happening in the construction site in terms that you'll have drone footage and photos of what is happening there, then video stream, take it from the helmets of the people that are working on the construction site. And then again, the providers that we are working with for the materials are also have to give us certain types of certification and their codes for the products that we are using to build. So some of them will be like, I don't know how to say in English, VAR. What's the English for VAR? Because it's the healthiest thing that you can put on the wall if you live in that.
It's plaster,
yeah, it's plaster, I think. So we will have this kind of materials, and I know it will going to be difficult for the material provider to give us certification on that, but we're going to do our best. But otherwise, we're going to have other types of materials that are the classical materials that...
I think it's going to be transparent.
Yeah, and...
That's the most important thing. We've seen many companies, it's not only Romania, I've been seeing real estate companies selling dreams and executing crappy buildings. I've been seeing companies that promised buildings and gave back nothing in return, and the people got scammed out of real estate. Building trust is super important. Blockchain can definitely help on it. And this live stream from the site with the very transparent log and certification system, I think it helps at least a peace of mind of the investor to see every day how is the property he's going to own in the future being built. So every day you see, nowadays they put the pillars, now they just added the plaster. Next week they are doing something else on the site. So they are going to see this in a full log of the site.
From my point of view, I think on any construction site you should have this kind of information and see what's happening, but that's just mine.
Good to know. Are we
going to become mainstream of how transparency works after we actually implement this inspection through the site? People making it transparent to people.
nice? Plenty more questions coming through. Okay, from Zero Knowledge 238, why 300 euros as a price point? Is it about the magic number 3?
No, it's actually a number that was proposed by the investor that decided to join us. So I propose it 100, but they say, let's do it 300. And I think, okay, it's a good proposal. Let's start it from here. Yes, they believe in magic. Probably, I don't believe in numerology, but maybe some of them do.
Perfect. What guarantees do we, the investors, have that the construction will be finalized?
So the community of experts that you've seen on that page are the architects and the structural engineers that are actually the best one in Romania. None of them will gonna put their name on something that will not gonna happen, because they will gonna lose business that it's hundreds, thousands of millions in Romania. This is the first, and that was the toughest thing for us to do. Together, this community of experts that endorse us and guarantee for what we are doing. What can happen, and this is something that is market related, is maybe there will be delays in what we deliver. Because I don't know, somebody asked me, what is happening if the war comes in Romania from Ukraine? I don't know, we will see. What happens if we're gonna be listed as being a junk country and the banks will not gonna give people money to loans to people to buy apartments? I don't know, we will see. So if markets I don't know, situations like this can happen. Yes, this is a risk you are exposed as an investor, and it's the market risk. Otherwise, you will know the location where we are building. You know in what project you invest. You do not invest in all the company to be exposed to the entire portfolio. So you will be able to gather all the data you need about that location, that part of the city where we are building, in order to know that if we will do it or not. So
also, one thing to add is that behind the security, because we didn't mention that much, all the assets we're going to mint and create for the project are security NFTs or tokens. They are linked and legally binded to a contract that has been audited, and it's going to be fully enforced even if something bad happens. Think about that: the SPV is going to own the site, is going to actually own everything. In the future, if anything bad happens, you can always enforce. It's not going to be the case, but even further than this, we will have in our contract something that's even more important. Sometimes the return of investment can be upper or lower based on the market, of course. Another thing that we added in this physical contract is that priority to return of investment is always to the investors, not on the owners of the SPV actually. So even if the company will get less of the return they have imagined, they will always, the company will always make sure the investors that join through the SPV will get paid first. It's in the contract.
It's in the contract, guys. Here's a cheeky question. How many buildings have you built before? What happens after you build 21 of them?
So how many buildings did we build before? I'm just looking at the other co-founder in the business, which is Adrian Vasilescu, who is a structural engineer. Only him has 3 million square meters in his portfolio. If I'm looking at all of us that are involved in this business, the architects and the engineers, I think we have built 10% of what has been built in Romania and 90% of what is really good built in Romania. So this is what we have as portfolio, as members of the team. This is the first time that we are together and not one against the other, because usually when we build, especially architects, they are pitching in front of a developer and fight who should put his concept on the market. This is the first time that we are stressing them to put together a concept. So in this format, the first project is the one that we are announcing this autumn.
Okay, gotcha. What chain is this going to be built on?
IBM compatible, I'm gonna be. So as an investor or as a person that you buy from us, you should not even have to know on what chain are we...
Complete blockchain abstraction then.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Built for the normies. What are the projected costs of a 2-bedroom apartment?
So we are building right now, looking at the how the market is like looking right now. So the type of quality that we are building, it will be 2,000 to up to 3,000 per square meter. Really depends on the location where the apartment it's built.
Okay, gotcha. We can end on this question. What a friendly question this is. Do you have a securities issuing prospectus approved by the ASF? We
are highly regulated by ASF, and we also start the discussion with them and announcing them that we are going to put this project on the market. Yes, we're going to have white paper that we have to present to them and be approved. We decided to work on this with Deloitte, and maybe some of you also know Andrei Purs-Păzaru, who is our advisor and supporting from, I don't know, starting 3 years ago. Because every time somebody asks me when you start the project, it was years before. First problem was to solve the legal framework. The second one was to convince the expert to join us.
Perfect. Does anybody else have any other questions from the crowd that they'd like to say out loud? Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause to Build21. Thank you so much.